Hello, my name is Vipin Maheshwari, and here is my ID. Today, I'm going to be talking about Managed by Q case study presentation. I am part of the EMBA 26B August 2021 cohort at Quantic. Um, a little bit introduction about Managed by Q company. Managed by Q, which is also I'm calling a Q company, is an on-demand cleaning and management company where where they try and pay above over and above sort of the industry average to its employees or its operators, which was their primary business model. Founded in 2014, Q provided office cleaning, maintenance, and supply services, which was headquartered in New York City and was operating in various different cities in the U.S. Managed by Q hires employees instead of relying on contractors, reducing turnover and eventually reducing training costs for the company and providing a better quality service to the end customers. Some of the competitive advantages for Q. Q's competitive advantage lies in utilizing its custom and proprietary technology and in providing quality services. Maintenance companies operate in a silo typically, and especially in an analog world. The uniqueness of the combination of janitorial services with combined with any other chore that the client or the customer wanted Q to do was very unique to Q. As mentioned by Moria in 2016, the top four players in the industry account for less than 10% of the available market in 2016 and therefore exerts little market power. Startup costs cost vary depending on the scale of the operation. New entrants needed to acquire cleaning supplies and equipment and secure vehicles in operational facilities and primarily reach out to contractors for getting their services done. There is also one other requirement of a certain level of personnel training in the cleaning industry where there is no license requirement apart from meeting all general state occupational health and safety regulation, which significantly reduces the training and employee acquisition costs. Here is the VRIO framework for Q. The value of Q or the unique selling proposition was the combination of its services. It offered leveraging its proprietary technology, allowing easy scheduling of services and provided all around transparency to the company and to the client. Um, um, the rare thing about Q was the space in which it operated, which had almost no competitors. I say no competitors because the combination of different types of services which Q provided was not as significantly prevalent in the space in which Q was operating. It to me it was a bit costly to imitate the business model of Q, as it was relatively easy to get into the maintenance space, but not compete with the sophisticated technology combined with the employee incentive structure with which Q operated, which made them very unique and that made others costly to imitate and get into the market space. The Q's technology made its resources, primarily human resources and tangible and intangible resources, extremely easy to exploit. Um, Resources that gave Q and competitive advantage. Some of the intangible resources were the biggest advantage that Q had was its custom and proprietary technology that allowed its customers to view, review, and schedule maintenance or any other services combined with the operator app, which allowed them to perform the exact services which the customer had operated and provide all around transparency. Tangible resources, new very collaborative office space from which Q operated its business in various parts of the country. in different cities of the country, and the human resources were the incentive. The incentive structure that Q's leadership team had adopted was a great advantage for its employees, and worked to Q's advantage in keeping its employees happy and loyal to the company, reducing employee churn. And the capabilities that it offered were the services Q offered were not unique, but the combination of many offerings made it unique to Q. Um, some of the PEST factors that affected Q's profitability were the biggest the biggest political hurdle impacting Q was the unionization of the maintenance service contracts, primarily in New York City. They mitigated this. They mitigated this by not contracting with the non. They mitigated this by contracting with the non-unionized buildings. This kept out the political hassles and increased their profitability exponentially. The economics, I'll talk about that in a second here because that's on the next slide. The compensation and the benefit structure of Q was exemplary um, for its employees that were able to make a livable wage with health benefits. Stock option plans was to enable the employees to feel a sense of ownership and belonging to the company, which implicitly would enhance the social lives of its employees. Technology, Q's competitive advantage was primarily in utilizing its custom and proprietary technology, which allowed its customers to view, review, and schedule maintenance and area service combined with the operator app. And the economic advantage primarily was if you see the non Q and the Q comparison charts here, or the financials here, every single year on year, from year 1 to 5 for non Q and Q comparison results, Q has very significantly outdone any and all of its competitors, and which is a great achievement, and sort of talks about its business model. The Q's SWOT model, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, basically. Some of the strengths of Q's were differentiated transparency in janitorial services, minimum employee turnover, strong work ethics and values, extensive customer retention up to about 90%, high profit margins, satisfactory funds and investors. Some of the weaknesses were possible lack of skilled workers ready to sign up as service provider, except for the basic cleaning services and maintenance. Opportunities, robust on-demand requirements, less complexity to enter into the new market. Only big three rival companies who just covered. Few of the US's janitorial services. Significant increase in the industry value. Some of the threats were it was a fragmented industry. It was sort of a clone company. Basically, what that means, every company would just try to clone the other competitor and then sort of get into the market. Few commercial buildings in many smaller cities, but that was not true for the large cities, and lack of perfect labor market. How can Q continue to grow and establish markets in a high cost labor model? Q could acquire more customers from existing markets and offer more services to its existing customer, and possibly Q could keep exploring into new markets, new locations, basically within the country and possibly internationally, and try to explore new market segments outside of Q's current offering. Um, Cleaning supplies and repairs and maintenance, Q can possibly look into the following growth areas, which were interior design, security, access control management, furniture assembly, physical storage, and possibly consolidate a very fragmented industry. Here are some of my recommendations. The possible growth strategy for Q was to pursue by offering more services like interior design, security, access control, furniture assembly, etc. By offering services in different markets, location internationally and nationally within US. The alternative strategy could be to consolidate the market space by way of mergers and acquisitions with small companies who have less than five, or for that matter, 10, 20 employees even, because since Q grew exponentially, it had at one point it had some 400 employees on its payroll, and also approach some of the larger or bigger companies. Possibly, one of the key recommendations over here is to start franchising. Is to consolidate the smaller players or the smaller companies into within Q itself. But once it had consolidated, it could start franchising with different smaller organizations, and so that they could run under Q's brand name. Here are some of the credits for my for the knowledge that I gathered for this case study, and thank you very much. I hope you liked my presentation, and thank you so much.